Hlonitshwa, I'll dwell much issue ye-recycling engifice ikhulunywa siphakathi kwendaba. Ngilembuzo ethi amanzi ekame azavalwe, we had the councils that had been running this city and we had administrators running this city. Baze bawavale bethi this water is not fit for consumption by the people or by the residents of Bulawayo. From your studies, what has changed now to make this water be recommended today as this council is worth for human consumption? Bese City 2. Ngifice kukhulunywa ngo-1968 eNamibia ukuthi people from that time they've been drinking amanzi recycled water. But how many years down the line, 25 or so, quarter of a century, or more than half a century, beguzwa bagula, which is true. Ngivele ngingathatha umgani wami wekhaya engidla ngawo. Ngifuna sikhulume nini, ngizapromise into. Ngiwuthathe ngiyenyela kuwo. Sasithi wena kanguphendula umgani lwana ngithathe ngidlele kuyo. Nxa ngingumuntu onormal vele inhliziyo yami yaqhubeka. I-budget ekhona for our council to do this recycling of incoming water is acceptable ukuthi nathwe ngabantu baphile koBulawayo. What budget are you looking at? Can that budget be diverted and be used somewhere else where we can make a better way of giving abantu koBulawayo amanzi angcono? I am quite aware that the provision of raw bulk water to local authorities, Bulawayo, it is the responsibility of Izino, which is the government. Fair and fine. As a council, what frantic efforts are we doing in engaging the council, the government, all efforts that will make abantu Bulawayo zuze amanzi ahlanzekileyo? You will recall 2006, 2007, 2000, somewhere there, if I'm not mistaken, but I know I chaired that kind of a meeting. When Bulawayo stood up and challenged Izino to take over the control of amanzi lapha koBulawayo, we refused. Why? Just because we felt we had no confidence as the citizens of this city that Izino will give us the best. We trusted our councils from the records that have been there ever since this city has been there. My big question, which is the big question asked by the people there, do we have the capacity to recycle coming water, even within Abantu? Do we have whatever we have to make the mentality yabantu bakoBulawayo ichinje from whatever abakwaziyo ngamanzi awekami, what we are seeing even today, even like this is khona pass through khangela ukuthi ekame kungenani? Finally, your worship, who actually will drink this water? These questions that I'm posing are the questions that are being asked by the people out there. I happen to represent people on a very wide scale. Who will drink this water? Let's make mention the townships that will drink this water. Will we see this water from Kami, ihamba all the way here na umuntu osemachamhlo, ePenside, you name the places? For the time being, can I say Let me leave this for others. But abantu there bathi bona. Let me just finish ngoba sozelinike isikhathi esini. Abantu bathi bona. Lokhu ngenze ukuthi ngitshele council likuzwe if the city fathers are here hear it. Abantu bathi bona, hayi council yona lesikhona this time, this kind of leadership esilayo in running the council and the administration running this council. Kukhona ikhekha sebelibonile sebelithenjisiwe ne-coming water. Hence they are now eager, they are pushing it ukuthi amanzi ekambi our recycle anathwe ngabantu. When other councils and administrators had refused, ngabe babevela abantu bengazange batshele uvela ukuthi amanzi ekama wrong from the way to go. Kuthi bangasoze bakule manjinela wedorobha abantu. Njengapha kubla. Mina njengamvele songasizwe ukuthi kuthiwa amanzi ekama recycle sinathi. Ngisho imbili yami sifuna ukwenza okunye lapha kadesi. Ngingangixolela ukuthi namanzi ekansi yaphandle kuyabe sokubuyile ukuthi kanye.
Social movement okuthiwa ibulawayo water action, which is a residents social movement. I just want to flag a few points. Number one, thank you for the presentation, engineer. It was very elaborate, very good. You know, it shows really that we have an engineer of quality in the city. But I have issues. Number one, I will start with the last point. You said we are on phase one. But in the media, when he was giving the press statement, the TC, the town clerk, said we should be having water, coming water by December. And I'm asking myself, we're in phase one, we should be having it by December, but we're in phase one now. And then the other phases that I saw you listing there, maybe if I can get an explanation on how much each phase will take, like how long is phase one, how many months? Because I'm worried about the, since Zimbabwe may be having problems, I don't want us to have the COVID kind of phases where we go the other way around and we're not sure where we are going. So if you could clarify for me, how long will phase one take? How long will phase two take? How long will phase three? It will be better for me to understand as a resident. Number two, you spoke about not having other water sources. May I assist you? I'm not an engineer. I just have basic diploma geography. The Bulawayo City Council is not dealing with water leaks or water-based. It takes time. I'll give you an example. I have been, as BUA, we have been reporting water leaks in the past 3 weeks. There are water leaks that have 2 weeks. We reported them. We have reference numbers. They are still not attended. I will give an example. Along Kami Road, opposite National Food Gate, Lapa Ulogi, Rachilele Lapa, Ele Forex Lane. I personally took the picture, reported it, got a reference number. But the argument is that I will amount. So if Singela Mali will tell you fuel 20 liters, CF water paste, where do we will get the money to recycle coming water? For instance, that's a simple question. So why are we not attending our water paste? Last week, I went around when our members were giving our water paste, because when they give, we rectify as the leadership of the group. I was tasked last week to go and check our water pastes as well appearing among members and confirm them before we post to council. I think we posted 5 in one day. Just one day, posted 5 water pastes that we're seeing. So why are we not dealing with water paste first? Secondly, we're saying we are not maximizing Epping Forest and Rochester. Why are we not doing that before we go to Kami? 3, CBD aquifer. There is public information that this CBD is sitting on an aquifer. Why are we not tapping water from that aquifer before we go to Kami? 4, runoff arrest. There is a concept that we have proposed to say, why are we not arresting runoff? No, the city is more of tarmac or hard surface. Why are we not diverting the water storm drains into reservoirs, not into Kami Dam? You know, we have Makwepe Reservoir, for instance, why are we not building new reservoirs and divert that water there? Because 10 minutes argument weather station 15 millimeters of water. But the amount of water, that's what is collected in a rain gauge. But the amount of water running off is more than 15 millimeters. So let's collect that one which is running off, not the one in a rain cage. The one that is running off. Arrest it, put it in a reservoir, and we have a lot of water. Then reduce toilet Ama-system, they are too much. They are about 10 liters, if I'm not mistaken. So, most hotels are now using 4 liters of systems. 5 liters, high pressure. Why is council not banning these ones? And get the high pressure one. We are reducing the number of water that we are. Just imagine, si flash these days I will with the social service flash 1 person maybe per day. No, now we flash 60 liters per day. We are going to be flashing 30 liters now. And if it's 10,000 houses in Bulawayo, just imagine the amount of water we are saving. So why are we not taking that as a new method that can help us? Then the last thing that I wanted to say is that with Kami Dam, there are problems that we have. Number one, we have information which we cannot verify because of but I remember the late minister, the honorable late Uskanyis, said it. Wapuma ku chronicle kuthiwa uthekula abantu abajikelwa isikhathi sempi. Watsho njalo ku chronicle. But whether bajikelwa ngesikhathi sempi, whether isikhathi sekuground, but he said it ukuthi kulabantu abajikelwe ekhaya. That's what he said. So why are we tampering with the sin of crime? So let's first let's allow NPRC to deal with the Kami as a crime scene and extract the bodies if they are there. Because Scanning Society, they are there. It's not me, it was him then, the late. May his soul rest in peace. So we need that because currently we're in a healing process. How do we heal when we are drinking our own people? Whether it was Smith regime, whether it was post-independence, I don't care. But I'm saying, how do we heal when we are dealing with maybe we're going to ban. So maybe let's look at that also before we go to CAM. Then also, maybe if you recycle, why don't you recycle and take it to industry? Because you raised the problem that industry is taking a lot of potable waste. Recycle for industry. And also like Schweppes, recycle to sell. Then if you are recycling to put them on bodleleni uthengisa ofuna uzanatha ngokwakhe asizozimbambe. This is an independent country. That's democracy. But let it not be forced into our tapes. And also there is the issue. There is also the issue that you raised on contaminated water. Engineer, contaminated water is there. It's there. It's a fact. We can hide under semantics, under engineering terms, under chemical terms, under what? Amanzi kaBulawayo asengcolile. It's a fact. Go block 50 Mpopoma. Go Pumisuwa. Councillor, talk to the councillor Mpopoma. He will tell you. Talk to councillor for what 13. He will tell you Eminyela Wapumisuwa. Etepin. We are talking of reality. Abazukulu bami emakhandeni bebengithathela amanzi angcolileyo. I even posted in the groups to some of the councillors. Amanzi angcolileyo aphume eThekwini. It's a reality. My own son, grade 1. Thina amanzi siyawabilisa asebhakethini. Njenge regulation njento lasitshela yona. But wathi kubuya amanzi sathaba, azamanzi aphuma eThekwini amnandi engineer. Sathaba sachiya asebhakethini. Saya empompini. Wagula. I spent a day ngimthwele ebusuku. Ubusuku bonke ngalala ngimthwele esofeni. Umntana nami ekhupha, ngapha yakhupha, ngapha yahuda. At the same time, I spent the whole night ngimthwele. Ekuseni I wanted to go to the doctor, mama wathi mana mbichana. He recovered. But I'm saying this is a reality. Let's not rush or run away from it. Let's face it and say, where is the problem? And to know where the problem is, you are taking time to deal with the water base. Isuwa itina ingena khona phana. Deal with the best. So those are my submissions.
Those sources are not yours. They are under the control of the government. That's why I was saying, let's try and look at something that we can handle internally and get a contribution. Because like I was saying, with you find even the second report, he says, don't take a man's lana wonke, ubuyangene se oblawa elwa flash. Because that price won't be able to afford that water. Sustainability corner in terms of water pricing is then lost. So an aspect of recovering that water is actually contained in the Kwaishangani Dam report. Then our efforts with government, I think we have done, which is why such a science that in Epping Forest is Pulawan. Those are efforts that we've been putting. I presented Lapana the letters that we circulated with government as far back as 2013. These are the urgent projects that we should be working on. So this engagement has never stopped. It has always been going on. And in Naslama droughts, we've been projecting, which is why Service Nasawas would see further. Because the Kwaishangani Dam, I think, has been in implementation since 2005. Which is at what stage up till now? Maybe my colleague Mbono Kono Rose, when can we expect that water? So these are the challenges that are there, but consultations with government have been ongoing. We report all these issues on a monthly basis. Then I think from Ipua, I think the water leaks, we do take the criticism on water leaks. And council is actually looking at that. And in the last event when we in a water crisis, when we declared, we were able to get resources from other people to actually assist. Because now that we are giving you water 144 hours a day, it means the water revenues have actually dwindled, but the workload has increased. Imali abantu asebeyileta is now minimal because we are pumping less water, because water is actually what is the also aids to what billing comes in. You are pumping less than 50% or just maybe 60% of what you used to deliver. That naturally brings your revenues down. And meaning if we're to really do the sums properly, we should hike the water tariff so that we're able to collect enough resources to actually meet the maintenance requirements. And over and above that, our plumbers, instead of coming to work to deal with leaks and burst and maintenance of the system, they are coming to work to open and close the system. But we are saying it, Ntambama, Paf. Lapho wavule khona sokudukile umele bagijime ukuthi njengoba silivulela for 12 hours. Within those 12 hours we are trying which you should get your water. Otherwise if you don't get it, this becomes a problem. So a priority at the moment has been our plumbers. They've been running around with mainly best to try and reinstate those areas that are being reinstated in the best of case. So that is really a challenge that we are having as a city because of lack of water, not because of the mismanagement, but because of lack of water. Now we've actually requested our HR to expand the establishment of AMA plumbers. And that is a cost that we're passing on. And we're getting other donors that are now coming in. We're saying we need AMA materials for us to be dealing with these repairs. And these are efforts that we're actually working on. And the reason why we all here, like when we're saying why water crisis team, is saying everyone here should actually come up with a what is for us to survive. Because now it's about us surviving going forward. So those water pests we have, I think as at last month, there were almost about 1,364 that are still outstanding, as I told. And they are growing every month because of the commitment of our plumbers and our resources to actually support the maintenance work. But you are saying in any system we can reduce that. It averages to around 31%, when we are saying what we're using as physical water is about 31%. And reduction in Yakona we normally go to 35%. Well, it means ripping the whole city and putting new pipes. And the experience has shown even those areas that have done that, what you might not get them below or 25% amaleaks. So you still use that. So when we say we need another dam, it takes into account that you lose some of the water. I mean, it's a natural, or it's within the practice, even within the water utilities, which you still lose the water. Then ECP, the aquifer, yes, ECP, Amapos, unfortunately, you cannot drill it at an end. I want to drill and pass with compensation house. I have to bring compensation house down. Or I have to find another place in that drill and but unfortunately, all technology, all drills vertical. So ECPT aquifer, while it's there, it might not be the right aquifer to exploit at the moment. But currently, we've got other grouping that I said that are investigating what can we drill now into the ocean water. They are saying that technology is now there where you are drilling maybe 3 kilometers down. So those options are there. But once those options are outside the city, where they are, that water becomes again a Zeno project and government project because the city cannot manage what is outside its boundary. Which is why we've got this challenge that we're talking about. But all those investigations are currently ongoing, which is why we're saying, look at that drilling, also looking at whether we can increase the output from Minamandov. Then you run off from the residential area and also the city center. I wish you could see a man's izulu nxa liqeda ukunta ngcele nje wakhombela wegama athi ngitshengisa leli bona ukuthi imgwaqo edrobheni ngesikhathi kungakani izulu iyabe sicitshile simnyama ju ama road line marking lingani izulu iphendula kube mhlophe nke, and that's the runoff that comes out from the city. So if you want to watch it, nxa lizabona izulu ubuye uzokuma lapha izulu lisina ubone how dirty that water is, and it will be more dangerous to even trap that water within the confines of the city, which is why siyeke intelezi ziyefika eKami ingafika eKami yathola amanzi angcono clean ibisiwa diluter then sizama ukwa recycle because that one that coming from the built up area abantu bajikela ingcekezi kuma drain abanye bajikela izinja kuma drain, so we cannot just take that water sifake reservoir ukuthi agijima ingena phakathi. We're saying the bigger reservoir ngoba idamu is actually a reservoir ukuthi ivulekile reservoir yakho ukuthi khona uwathathe we have to dig ukuthi uzuthole area ezathatha amanzi angangekani uyabukhiphe ngaphi khona pha koBulawayo. So the best way of creating a reservoir is damming a river, which is why I was saying all the runoff that comes out from the city is dammed ingakayidlulisiyele kuze eyinye is dammed eKami ingakadlulisiyanga eGwali, and we are saying those are programs that we are looking, but like I was saying eMguza is a bit contaminated, heavily contaminated, which we can't even think of it now. Reduce the size of pharmacy strain. We don't have to invest money. From here, you can have a 30 scoop semazo. Usigcwalisa amanzi, usifake kusistrain yakho. Ufake Z2. Your flashing is reduced. Come ufake steam. I think we've tried to share these messages. I think of a PR, maybe we need to up our game. Without buying new ones, let's just go and put in either istina or imazoe, ilama, imazoe, imbodlela, empty. With qualisaman, it displaces your volume and you have reduced the size of your system. So let's share that message across without having to go and buy amacha. Ngoba amacha ngase sifunga thenga futhi ayenziwa phandle kwamazwe kumele siwayimport sidinge forex. Whereas imazoe vele siyayinatha amambodlela even wona la amancane ungafake bemanengi we are still displacing the water. So let's share that. I think it's actually a welcome observation which we need to work on. I think abantu abafile madam angenga iphenduka. Iswa coming out of the taps. Yes, I think like we were saying, because of the watershed, we are now creating a vacuum. And when I lay in Popoma, the pipeline that has been vandalized say repair under BSWIP in 2010. Safaka a new GRP that should last 100 years. But it's vandalized. Ikwamugile yakhutshwa yona. And ezakamizi. Ipipeline in the kule section engasekho. Ayikhona ukuthi eqamukile. And it's the community that is doing that. Ayidliwanga yiso ngoba iGRP will guarantee ukuthi last 100. But that work was done, that work has been vandalized. And this sewer is now disposing into the river. And naturally the river ingangena phansi i-water pipe idlula ngoba la iyadlula eceleni komfula. I-water pipe ayisela amanzi ngenxa yokuthi for 7 days. Isuwa lani sisipela into the water pipe, which is now contaminating our water. And we are saying, how do we reduce what is sivala amanzi? And they were saying Ikami Dam is one of the solutions that if we recycle water, we might win. I think I have covered. Ngaphandle kwaya laba abafele damu.
Yeah, abafele damu. Abafele damu sizaqala abadala kulathi ngezigaba. Loba benceba bengaka ngokuzalwa babengekho ngezigaba anti sebebadala. So sacela umeya leyo ayiphendula.
Uthi asikhulumeni ngento ezibambekayo esingathi lapha silobufakazi ukuthi ufele abantu lapha eKanu kwajikwa abantu. Ngoba nxa singakhuluma ngakhona ukubheka ukuthi amadamu wonke amaTebeleland phela alamathambo abantu abajikwa khona ngesikhathi so neso ngoba ningi bakhuluma ngendaba eground singakhangela eMarch South kuthiwa yikho the issue le prevalent kakhulu in the Matopo district. Singakhangela i-watershed yama-dams zethu eMarch South ngale. The Matopo area is there. So it means that ukuthi amanzi emzingwane are not safe because of what? Because of what alama remains abantu. It also means ukuthi kuboncema Mchabezi bokwanda kona ngale, which was the most affected areas during those areas. So really asikhangeleni ngento le scientific evidence, scientifically proven ukuthi yebo ke lapha kwajikwa abantu ngesikhathi leso. So singa be so much clouded. I don't want to say it's a myth, but so much clouded ngento esingela ufakazi bayo ike ngakutsho wedala.
Khamizi lesebenzisa council indaba ye-communication breakdown in communication. Bona ngani lapha sisilela khona. Bose ngingaba asitshana amakhanda. Okwesibili ukuthi vele kuyaziwa ukuthi naso kunje abantu bayalwa. Sithembele ukuthi ngeenkulunkulu ngaphathisa izulini. Waye ngisitsho njalo ngabe amanzi akhona ngaba sihlalanga la sikhuluma khonoko. But at the same time i-council city izulu ngibela amanzi ngayikhona emadamu sicela lingahlali phansi relax and say hayi because amanzi akhona konke ku right. Nangu sesine problem. What do we do? Ngabe into yahlelwa kudala ukuthi ngabe ngumnyaka nje ngaba le problem nje senza njani dani ukuthi sibeleke last minute. La umbuzo wenza ngizawubuza ufengu umama deputy town clerk whatever. Ekhuluma ngendaba eluveve. Ukuthi kulama problems kufa abantu eluveve. Abantu bagula lihambile ku ground kubonile. Ukhuluma ukuthi kona iluveve has been exempted kuload shedding. Sakubongela kakhulu khona. Kusakhanya ukuthi abantu bagulayo labantu bafike kwizwa njani. But what about if other areas abemawazi? What of 22 was ema-western ukuba community kona khaya mazidlaza nikwa abantu ba-western. What of those 22 was from Makoko balapha usefika emganwini? You are the most affected. What is going to happen now? Kathesi novuka kuthiwa emganwini la kuso the same problem. Are you going to exemptive law yonke kwenziwa njani? At the same time, what measures have you taken? Because lapha enhlala khona I'm almost emganwini ngalenketho. I haven't seen you. Nifika khona ngale sokuvakele khona ukuthi khona labantu abeluviva abafileyo. You only go lapho kusolve the problem. Asekalibona ku-ground council. as residents, we believe what corner, regardless of the problem, we need to see you there. We are not so consultative meetings, budget, that's when we see you. These are the issues. Yes, we could not maybe funding resources. What economic resources, particularly Demam is a case, and it's a clear what is when consultative meetings. The chill about Tina would don't wait for a case to engineer, I'm not an engineer, can't address the resident and tell them, engineer. We need you to come down there and address this, that people understand them as they come as an act. You know, same office. We need you down there. Lastly, I think in the Rama issue of pause. Some of those are scattered, especially why can't we utilize those balls? We had last time we were talking about the kiosk. We to the farmer church to think saying that how far have you gone before that? Not having call it in the lastly, in the school up is a council. We are having problems. Let's call it a council. Just much as call it a council. We are getting water from government schools. Not all the problem means. That's the community saying, but I'm council schools. You guys are closing our city starter man when you got the problem means. Kwambanja, like it's transferring schools, the council is a problem. Or when you want water there. Still, we can't take time, but in what you have the top of the starter when people are dying. Please, we need an explanation.
It affects everyone, not the ZANU, MDC, MRP, whatever political party or you are affected. We have to come up with a solution. Whether I'm for or against a council, we have to come up with an agreed solution. Okala ngithanda ukuthi ngiraise i-concern yami ngezinwa ukuthi kambe sure ubulawayo ethwele nziba kangaka uzinwa ahlale phezulu komsebenzi bese ngibuza ukuthi kambe phakathi kwethu ukhona yini uzinwa akachasisa ukuthi kanti okwenza umsebenzi wenyama endlovu uphuze yena ephiwe le mali futhi ikuyini bese ngibuza njalo ukuthi kanti kungaba lani ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi uzinwa avume nje ukuthi ucouncil azenzele eminye imisebenzi njengenyama ndlovu akhifana lana avume nje ucouncil aziyenzele ngicabanga ukuthi kuyadingakala ukuthi kukhulunyiswane kabanzi la uzinwa ukuze ubulawayo asizakala okwesibili mina ngiyakholwa ukuthi i-technology has advanced okwakusehlula ngama-60s akusayehluli khathesi ungakhangela even ku-health yethu thina abantu endulo kule gciwane lelo kuthiwa i-HIV labulala abantu abaningi kakhulu sibili ukwedlula i-COVID kodwa-ke ungakhangela khathesi sesibulawa ngezinye izinto abantu aba-positive they are healthier than umuntu onjani onga-positive kwesinye isikhathi so i-technology is advancing every day ngiyakholwa ukuthi let's give this common thing a chance bawapurify amanzi athestwe ahlolwe sizibonele lathi thina sikholwa ngokubona nami ngiyithathe i-microscope ngilunguze phakathi kwamanzi mbontha kulagcikwane ngoba if we resist amanzi azaphela abantwana ezindlini esikhala ngabo bazawoma balambe thina sonke sisithi asiwafuni climate is changing every day izulu leke lokuna for the next 10 years amanzi aqala uku-evaporate le khami yangikhona it will be too late to act mina ngicabanga ukuthi asipheni ucouncil wethu go ahead simsupport baqale basipha ama-samples amanzi apurified okunye engikucabangayo engikukholwayo njalo ukuthi njengezakhamizi zakobulawayo ucouncil yethu esimfakileyo angithi ukuthi thina sime ngapha kwefence ucouncil ame ngale kwefence siqale manje ukumkhombela ngemini mbona ingazani sisebenza sibuyela emuva. Ngizanika imizekeliso emibili. Ngike ngaba le supermarket eNtumbane. Bekuthi ngingabona ipipe idubukile bengithatha imoto. Ngiqonde I think total garage ngokusempopo melokishela ngiyalilibala. Ngithatha imoto, ngiyathatha uplumber, ayilungisa ipipe edubukileyo ngimbuyisele. Kungaba le crime scene, thatha imoto, ngiye police station, ngiba le polisa ngilibuyisele. I lose nothing. Kodwa I've done my part. Kodwa ngingama laphana ngithi izinto ziyawonakala ukhansila ungaphi, izinto ziyanakona mina ngenzeni as an individual. Ngicabanga ukuthi we form these organizations so that we impact positively our communities. But if we represent our organizations anti-progress, then we have a serious challenge. Ngicabanga ukuthi asishift any mindset yethu sibe progressive. Let us be for progress. Yes, ukuze si progress kube kumele sichukane, but at the end of the day asibeni lenqubela phambili positive. Yo umcabango engilawo ngithanda ukuthi ngitsho njalo ukuthi i-presentation yakho engineer ibenhle kakhulu. Bekungaba kuhle ukuthi uyifinqe ikwanise ukubalwa la ngu-layman, then it distribute so that everyone okobulawayo understands ukuthi amanzi ekhami as much as i-social media isitsho ukuthi bazi ukuthi anjani wona anjani. I think uZulu la at least azi ukuthi no lokho esikutshelwayo lokho esikuboniswayo ngempela ayisikho okuyikho yilokho lalo.
Kule ndaba embona ngani ikhuthakele kuma responses from the desk there yani phambili eyama phases akade buziwe awekami in terms of making that water better, ukuthi ama phases akhona kuthiwe kucela incazelo. Ngethemba ukhuthakele lokho. Ngithanda ukuthi ngibuyele umeya ngeke ngabona ekhuluma ngendaba yokuthi Bulawayo ngaya declare ukuthi ibe water shortage area or whatever name they may call it. I would think that is a very noble idea, Baba Mayor, which may need the support of the people of Bulawayo. But I think what is also very important, let's not wait for a crisis period to come our way. We have had these droughts over a long period of time, and we haven't been able to try and, do something about them. Singamelele ukuthi each time ungaba le drought, we sit down, we talk. Ingedlula, we sit down again, we talk, and do nothing about these things. Let's be proactive. Zambezi Water Project was muted in 1912, and nothing has been done about it. There's always been talks about it, and nothing tangible has been done. So, as a city, yes, we are limited. Raw water out there. Let's make sure as a city, like the issue of leakages that have been talked about, we lose millions of liters of water. Then there's a city tina sifuna recycle ikami dam water. Tina sila manya amanzi amahle esiwayekele phuma uyabona ukuthi there kulento errong okumele ukuthi ilungiswe. Asiboneni ukuthi siyalungisa that izinto zethu kwenzela ukuthi singaze saluza amanzi wona lawo amahle. Otherwise my main point ukuthi let's be proactive as a city.
Ngebohole ekuntshamatha road emakhaya phakathi kweKhethis Club uthola sokulabanikazi ufuna ukwazi ukuthi protocol lama procedures awusebenzisa amabhohole khama njani ngoba ungani sokuleza khamizi ezibangabanikazi amabhohole labanye ubathole bethelela ingadi zabo abanye abantu bengelamanzi okusebenzisa endlini. Secondly, okunye mfukuzwa ekuthi ngibuyele futhi lapha ukuthi khona i-point yokuthi wona sithi i-history, the scientific thing, Baba Mayor laphana mnumzane, singawehlukanisi kangako, ngoba i-scientific, yes, is proven, but i-history and experience, omunye umuntu ngendlela abona ngayo ekhami, singawutrivialize kwento encane ukuthi wena kwafela abantu kompani. Lingakhuluma ngesikhathi sempi, lingakhuluma ngekho kurawundi, but mina zanika i-testimony yami ngo-24 August 2007, i-law and order e-Central Police Station Indiana. 3 vehicles are involved. Raiding was a members between midnight and 4 a.m. Abathatha babase ekhami, we end up with a deceased person. What was sizabotshela phansi, igqitshele phansi. And vele wona uvelukazi mawungibahlangu le background ukuthi vele ulomunye umuntu wakho uthiwa walahlekelwa kompani. So that is a living thing. Nxa singakhuluma ukuthi wena umuntu ekhuluma ngobuhlungu bakhe, then you are telling me ubaba uthe ekhuluma lapha wathela nxa ukhuluma ngamaze ekhami ukuthi abametha ngabantu kuqubuka samndeni. Mina nami kuyaqubuka konkhani. Kungenza ngilale phezulu kwengubo uqanda kangaka ngojoni. So ngezinto bese zinanzelela ukuthi nxa sithatha ama decisions, i-history yalabantu sithathela ama decisions athi how are those people feeling? That's all izulu baba lapha ekhuluma ukuthi wena indaba liyahlokuma kakhulukazi emalokishini ngoba i-identity ngoba bathi vele amandla azabe emagwega thathe yithi khona lapha ngoba vele kasenziwa abantu. Into ephilayo leyo. So benzama ukuthi ubona sinanzele ukuthi nxa sithatha ama decisions aphatha njani abanye abantu. So bengilokunye but sengibe too emotional sizaqhubekela phambili maybe sometime.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. We worship the mayor. Thank you for the presentation, our engineer. I think I wanted to really ask the engineer to unpack something that is said to be an open secret amongst business people. That there was cyanide leakage near Kami Dam. How is the processes of purification going to deal with the issue of cyanide and heavy metals that may be within the environment of Kami Dam? That for me is very crucial, that we speak to that specific issue. 1. 2, I thought in your presentation it would have been very good for you to speak a bit more about Epping Forest. I led a tour there as part of Ndebele Collective recently with the cooperation from Zinwa and BCC. Bengidanile kakhulu ukufika Epping Forest. Ngabona i-pump house enkulu lama-pumps wonke. The pump house, ama-reservoirs, konke bekungani sekuzaphela. Amanzi angena ahambe Rochester afike eMagwenya. All that development, maybe it's almost 80 to 85% finished. Yalethwa ngama-residents eBulawayo bafaka ama-dollar phezulu kwe-council rate yabo. Labonga yini, kodwa ngayilabonga, but why did we not finish those developments? It's just ukusele kuncane ukuqedisa. Thina lathi kumele sizibuze, why do we always halt our development projects seziyaphela? So that is my issue with the Epping Forest. Then the other issue is it's very important for us to look short term, but we cannot fail to look long term. Kwaishengani, the water from the Zambezi is a long-term solution. Okumele simkhangelele. Very soon we'll be leading a tour of Kwaishengani. We hope people will also want to participate and come and see for themselves a long-term solution.
Kunzisa ubuhlungu izinto siziyekelele singabantu saphiwa ingqondo zokucabanga udubo romansa uqalisana namhlanje oqalisa kudala sile mali esayikhiphayo eZambezi water project that money disappeared abantu bathenga amagoyethi ngemali zethu mina nguvalo sibuhlungu ngemali sithenga amagoyethi instead ukuthi kuthengwa amanzi kulethwa amanzi eZambezi. 2 sizwe populations city council sithi kuzayo donswa amanzi eKami that amanzi lana aliwa kudala ngana sakamthana emkhothi abelungu laba besinyama ndo bengafuni ukuthi ubhore lapha khathesi mana last month kuphume kuthiwa 10.5 million yokuthi kuyelungiswa izikhotsho leziya up to day nothing imali yani iyadina zokuthisa inyama leli futhi kwenzakalani city council mina bengicela ukuthi into leyamanzi ake sidinge umuntu onjengoGeorge Mlilo abe khona abe involved ku-city council amanzi sizathola.
Lo msebenzi omkhulu kakhulu lokuthi sikhangelane le khami water kuphela. I think iproblem ekhona nxa ngibona mina, we are not yet at a disaster stage. We probably at an emergency stage now. But we need to be very prepared for a definite disaster as we go along, on a short-term basis and also on a long-term basis. I think what is most critical for council is to tell the people the truth. And I think council is making an effort in that direction, but it needs probably to go out of their way and get out to the people where the problems are in actual fact. They need to give the people the facts so that what is possible and what is not possible, it should be very clear with the people. And people need to realize that if we're in an emergency situation, we need to be all part of it and not council. We need to support our council. This council has not been just formed today. This council has existed for many years. And it has been known for very good things that they've done for the people. I don't think they would be voluntarily making a decision to do something bad as far as water supply is concerned. All I'm suggesting here is we need as a community to team up with council. But for us to do so, council needs to give us the truth, council needs to give the people the facts, and also we need to develop confidence in what council is doing. And that information to the people through awareness programs has to be done and done very diligently and as quickly as possible. I think the Kwai Shangani River, Kwai Shangani Dam, on a long-term basis is a possibility. Yes, he talked about $2 cent landed cost in Bulawayo. But on a long-term basis, I think a collaborative approach can be done where there can be enterprise development from that area up to here. And there be other consumers of that water, which will obviously make the water land at this place at a much lower cost. It's issues probably to look at from a costing point of view and also from a planning and engineering point of view.